and that is the Diesel Weasels. Representing that team is Ms. Charisse Wells and Mr. Austin.
Hello, my name is Austin. This is Charisse Wells, and this is the idea, the wrench coupler. So me and Charisse are enrolled in the KCC Diesel program here, and we've been on every project here all year long. Charisse is the one who invented the wrench coupler. She asked me to come along to help her with the Badger Venture project.
Our resources for this project are my brother, Micah Wells. He's the one who fabricated the device, which I invented. And the SBDC, Defenders Office, has been super helpful with our competition so far. A common problem in our industry that we encounter is that bolts are placed in hard to reach spots, and you don't have enough room to apply the proper force to loosen the bolt. So I decided to solve this problem, not just for myself, but for everyone who can use a wrench, from the professional mechanic to your backyard hobbyist.
So the solution is a bolt with a cap that locks both end wrenches together to give you some extra leverage at any angle you might need it. And the idea is to have a full set that matches any wrench, be metric or standard.
Archimedes once said, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum upon which to place it, and I shall move the earth." Basically, our device works by adding leverage, lengthening the tool so that you can access hard to reach spots, and you can clock your second wrench at any angle. It's user-friendly. Anyone at any skill level or size can operate this device. It's compact. You can fit the whole set in your pocket. And it's low profile, which means that it can fit anywhere that your wrench fits.
So there's no direct competition, but there are other ways people get around this issue. One way is there's an old trick to the trade. You can link two end wrenches together and to get some extra leverage that way. There's also a tool called the wrench extender, which is just a large bar that wraps around the end of a wrench. You can get some extra leverage that way as well. The issue with this top one here is it's not very secure. So if you're not constantly holding pressure to it, it's going to come apart. And you can only really get this at a certain angle. The problem with the bottom one is it's just a straight bar. So there's no angle you can get that at, and it takes up a lot of space. So if you don't have enough room to get that tool in there, you're not going to be able to break loose that nut bolt.
So we are not planning on manufacturing this device. Our plan is to acquire a patent, which is a long and expensive process, but then we can incorporate, and after that we can sell the design to tool manufacturing companies. So our customer will not be the individual using the tool. Our customer will be the companies who make and distribute the tools. Questions?
Wow. Question, where can I buy one?
I'll let you know. Hopefully Home Depot pretty soon. The idea is to have a whole set, so it's sizes of your wrench, and it fits metric and standard, so you don't need a different one for a different wrench. We also have some other designs working out. Like we have a clip one, we have a magnetic one. We're in the process of making more. This is just the first simple little guide to show you.
Questions?
Last question.
Yeah.
So, as your brother's been working on this, as far as all the materials and the pieces, do you guys have any initial thoughts on the cost and how this is going to compare to some of those other options?
So that's why our plan is to just get it patented and sell the design, because we don't really want to get into all the little manufacturing details. We want to just kind of do an easy sort of thing. We can sell, just do the whole thing at once instead of there's tons of other options that we could do, but like I said, we would have to figure out all of that math.
Yeah.
Find a manufacturer. go to trade shows, and so we just thought it would be a lot simpler to just sell.
That's great. It's a lot better than some of the other stuff that's out there on the market. Just kind of curious. I think, yeah, as you start to look at stuff, if it's going to be, 3 orders of magnitude more expensive, that kind of changes your market.
And it's so simple, it's really easy
Yeah.
to manufacture. So like the cost would be pretty low. You just need like raw steel, and hourly wage, earnings. So
I think your concept is really, really good.
Mhm.
You talk about patents. Have you done any research on what it takes to get a patent and the
Yes.
costs? It's a long process and very costly process.
Indeed. I could do it one of 2 ways. I can hire a lawyer, which would be a lot more expensive. I can actually file it myself though. As an individual, like I can go online and just, type it all up and send it in, and I can pay for each document as it is sent in. So we'll see what happens with that.
I would like to just offer you a suggestion too. Having been in the automotive business and selling tools, I deal with a lot of tool companies. And Key Tools, Galvan Tools, there's a lot of tool companies pay good money and then pay royalties, and they do all the work. Have you ever thought of submitting this particular proposal to them?
So yes, I'm not like entirely sure. We need like a marketing person to help us out with that. So we figured that we would get the patent so that it's secured, because now it's publicly disclosed.
These
So I
tool
only have 1
companies-
year.
These tool companies will get the patents and they will do everything. You just give them the concept. And they sign agreements, of course, that they're not gonna take it. And if it's a good deal, they will buy these ideas. So you might think of that, just starting out, because it's not law, it's a project. And the thing about doing something like this, we want to make a profit.
Right. Right.
Wilson Clark Law School has a program too that will offer to help you for free.
Oh, awesome.
I think you did.
Good.
Thank you. Great concept. Congratulations. Okay. Once you get your patent, how do you think you're going to get your foot in the door in front of these Snap-on tools and the other, where you want to sell this idea to? What's your thoughts on it?
Probably we'll like look for the highest dollar amount, is my guess. The upside is that there is no direct competition. This doesn't exist yet.
Right.
So
Right. But it's a great idea, but how do you get your message to them to get that meeting? How do you think you're going to do that?
hire a marketing person.
Okay.
That was my plan.
Okay.
Was to get someone who has those connections that
Okay.
can say, okay, call this guy at this time, go there.
Thanks.
So I'll definitely need some help with that.
Perfect.
So I should have went before Todd because he kind of stole my thunder on how you're going to get into the market. I do like this. I do a lot of wrenching. I was sharing with the judges that I was coupled my wrenches earlier before I got here. I have a Jeep and a death bubble, and I could have used this. So I noticed that you have a 3/4 and a 19. So I like the fact that it's going to go, both standard and metric. So getting it to your intermediary, I think is going to be definitely something that is going to take a while to find the right one that's not going to try to take you to the cleaners. John, knowing my mother worked for him about the time he won his award in 1981. So knowing his resume and all the boards that he was on, I would definitely talk to somebody like John because he's heavily inserted into that business tool parts world that can, help you along the way. Because it sounds like, you have a great concept. I would definitely try this out for sure. I wouldn't mind having one from 8 millimeter up to an inch.
Right?
I mean, there's a lot more leverage on the larger wrenches once you get along 9/16 to 14. Is something that I was doing earlier. A lot of scars and stuff from wrenching. So I love the concept. It'll be neat to see if this ever makes it to the market. But I would definitely like to try it someday.
Thank you.
Great idea.
What do you think the patent was? Once you get it?
Oh, I have no idea.
What do you
I
want?
tried to research like how that breaks down monetarily, but it's kind of like I have to do it, to find out.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. $4 million.
So is your intention because you see a problem and you look and you have a solution to the problem, so it's more of a that type of concept than the money concept?
Yeah. I mean, it was, I said, my brother, you should make me a tool for school, because I'm a little guy, work on semis, tractors, ag equipment, And he was like, think of something useful, and there it is. So he made it. And
I'm just curious if you checked once you came up with your idea, which is very good, did you go to any professional mechanics and just ask them to critique it for you?
I had a couple. They all thought it was really cool. They all said it was a really good idea. I wasn't even sure it was a good idea until everybody else said so.
Last
So-
question.
Oh, to dovetail off that, did you actually supply any reputable mechanics with some of these to actually try them to get?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one I have so far. My brother's at school. He made it at school, so he didn't have like a lot of time to make a whole bunch of them. And I was gonna try and visit Stan, and that didn't work out yet. So that's the only one I have right now. And it's a 3/4, which is like not a super common size. It's that particular size, not like super useful. I mean, on some things, yeah, but like a large amount of things, like, it's, they don't usually have 3/4 bolts. So, I haven't gotten a lot of use out of it yet. But just because it's that size, it's just an odd size, it's just the one he made.
I'm just curious, one other thing, did you ever Google or YouTube this idea?
Yeah, it's not out there. The closest thing we found was the bar, the wrench extender bar. So, it's simple, doesn't exist yet.
Let us know when our judges awards, yes, probably come back and
Right. So how many steps?
Yeah.
Great job.
Thanks.